Thanks for coming over to this Amodeus. Today's Dungeon Under Champion video is going to be about Cassandra, the Fire Boon sister. So this particular unit right here, she has really been a superstar in the meta recently because of her performance in OH10. Now, I don't know that you need her for some of the farmable champion teams in OH10, but I wanted to build her. I had her fully skilled 5-star max, and when I'm looking at my box, I'm like, you know what? I think I can use her in OH to get me to OH10. I think I can use her in Steel Widow Ascended raids. Let's build her. Let's try her out. So if you look at her skill set, her first activated skill is called Scourge, and it removes 3 buffs. Fantastic, right? We immediately can see like that's going to be great in Outer Harbinger as well as Steel Widow. Well, her heal or Empowering Ring also provides an attack buff. Well, that's fantastic, right? So it's key to note though that her healing is based on HP, so you want to build her very HP heavy, but she gives an attack buff, and that's so she strips and gives an attack buff. That's definitely awesome. You can definitely see like where that's going to start to upgrade some of your teams that don't have that attack buff. And then her third activated or ultimate skill is Geyser, and she lowers defense, right, and does additional damage with HP. So again, probably another clue that we need to build her heavy HP, but the lower defense cinches the idea that you gotta have a lot of accuracy. Now, if you're gonna use her in OH10, you probably want to build her Adept Withering or Adept Hallow. But for me, right now, I don't have the gear necessary to make her a good unit and have those skills or those sets on her. So I built her Adept Precise, which is probably the vanilla build for her before you get to OH, in all honesty. And as you can see, I went very heavy in substats on her accuracies to make sure that she's stripping and debuffing. Or stripping and lowering defense. That's really, really important for me because, you know what, all of these teams are really about being able to auto the raids as fast as humanly possible. And I need consistency in order to do that. And that's one of the reasons I actually added her to my Steel Widow 11 team, because now that I have, and if you watched the last video, you know, like now that we have this insanely fast Steel Widow 10 team, I need to upgrade my own raid for Steel Widow 11. So what you see here is exactly that attempt, right? So this is a totally farmable team if you're looking for it. The toughest champion on here to get is Wink, and you can still get her through Soul Disc. She's only a 4-star, but she's an amazing DPS champion. And this is basically a pretty farmable team, and I wanted to start off with this because I want to test out Cassandra. I want to see if she's going to be able to add enough to the team to make it faster, because really what happened is that we are using her to create more consistency around the lower defense. So we now have 3 champions at lower defense. That's going to allow us to maximize the damage on Wink. We have 2 champions that are going to increase attack speed. That's important because now, once again, that's leveraging the DPS potential of Wink. And then we just have the survivability of her heal combined with the heals and the shield of the Light Archangel. So it should be a very steady, hopefully very fast team. And, you know, if we could get this team between 40 and 50 seconds, that's really what we're looking for. And I don't know if we can do it, right? Because we just 6-starred her, just re-geared her, and we're kind of moving into it now. So I'm a little reluctant to say that it's going to be faster because we're already at 40 seconds, right? Now, I will say that buff block did not go up the way I would have hoped it did from Hoshi. So this may be we're definitely going to have to run this a couple times. But as you can see, if you're watching the buffs on the left-hand side of the screen around the character portraits, you're going to see that attack buff should be up a lot more consistently than it normally would be. A minute, you know what? That's not a bad time, but that's not really what we're looking for. We want a faster time. So, you know what? Now that we have Hoshi and we have Cassandra, maybe we don't need to run Rota, right? So let's switch champions out. Let's take out Rota because she's not built for heavy DPS. She's a support champion. Let's throw in a heavy DPS champion. Let's throw in, okay, another fairy. Very comparable. very comparable to Wink, element neutral. But let's see how she does. Let's see if we can generate like a sub 50-second team time. That's what we're looking for. I think the double DPS is going to work. I don't know. I'm really, like I said, we built her for OH, but I always feel that if you're going to build a champion, especially a 3-star champion, then the investment means that she's got to be used elsewhere. And, you know, like I said in a previous video, I do believe that Cassandra is a very fair replacement or substitution for Xenia. I like Xenia better because of the skill cooldown reduction that she offers, but I mean, I think that's a player preference, not so much a team composition preference. So I think everybody would be a-okay with using her as a substitution. Now, see, in this particular run, the buff block got up, and we have the lower defense. The attack buffs aren't up, which is weird. Okay, there they go. Now, with taking out Rota, we do miss out on that attack speed buff, which might really be an opportunity for us, because this time is not super stellar. And in the comments below, I know tons of people have Cassandra built, because, you know, you look at her skill set, you know she's gonna be viable for you for a couple of different, like mid game definitely is your healer. She's great. But let's let me switch out some of these champions. Let's see, here's what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is that maybe we can take out, because Cassandra does heal, maybe we can take out our Archangel. But I don't know. I don't think that you know, in my head, theory crafting wise, I don't think that Cassandra has enough heals to sustain this team. Even with the skill cooldown reduction that we have between Rota and Hoshi, the Nature Magic Girl, I don't think we're going to be able to cycle through those heals fast enough to keep everybody alive. But fingers crossed. I mean, we'll look at it. If you don't have Hoshi built yet, then obviously Cassandra could fill that role until you build her, right? Yeah, see, look at that. So the Light Fairy's out. Yeah, that's a light. Man, I'm not disappointed in Cassandra's performance, because she's specifically for OH10 and OH in general. But I really do want to. Okay, let's take out. Oh, this is a tough one, right? This is a tough. Hoshi's so amazing. She brings so much to the table. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, if we take her out and we use Archangel, right? Well, you know what? Let's really mix things up. Let's make Cassandra the lead. You know what? That's fine. Torleon's an obvious upgrade for Light Archangel once he's all skilled, buffed, and got some decent gear. So that's fine. Let's see how this rolls. You know what? I use Hoshi everywhere, right? So taking her out, it almost hurts a little bit. But in this particular instance, much like we would talk about in OH, right? So in OH, Cassandra can basically Cassandra and Dark Magic Girl are two really good base healers to have on your starter teams, right? Because they give you attack buff and defense buff, which is exactly why you would have Wanga on there, except now instead of Wanga, who provides blind, you have two healers, and a stripper, right? So that's pretty important. Oh, I might actually have a gearing problem with my Light Fairy. I don't know. That's weird. Light Fairy died twice. Interesting. Yeah, that's going to slow the team down dramatically. Let's see, who else can we put in? We could put in the Dark Fairy. We could put in Aelia. I mean, there's a ton of champions we could put in there that shouldn't have this problem. Yeah, that is far too slow a time. I would let's actually switch out. Let's actually switch out the light fairy and put in the dark fairy. Oh, you know what I could do is I could take out Torleone, put the sniper in. No, let's just let's do this like we were originally. Let's go ahead and do this, and I'm gonna drop him in there, or her in there rather, because I just want to see what if there's an issue with that light fairy, because sometimes those team compositions really hinge on like the build of that secondary or that second DPS unit. So I know Alia's on some of the best gear I have in the light. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton of like DPS gear to go around, since my last DPS unit to be built was light fairy. So units like the dark fairy, Alia, and Wink have my best gear on them. Maybe during the next laundry day we'll switch that up. Oh, okay, so I'd forgotten that Alia applies a mark, so that's great because that'll also increase the damage. I don't know if it's going to be if they're going to be operating fast enough to be able to get all of those things on there. Yeah, I'm not. That buff block is just too good, man. Buff block is just too good. But what I really want to do is I'm going to reach out to the community. I want to ask two quick questions. So one, what do you guys? How are you using Cassandra? What are your impressions of Cassandra? Obviously, she's a great unit as far as improving teams that need a attack buff or lower defense or a strip or a heal, right? I mean, she has such a flexible role. How are you guys using her? Number one, and then number two, I've had a lot of requests for people to share different discords that maybe are a little bit more positive minded than the main DHC Discord channel. So if you have a Discord channel you feel that you want to open up to other like-minded folks, drop in the comments below, let the community know. Be more than happy to have that comment screen as a platform for you guys to share ways to talk to each other. But as always, thanks for watching videos. Have a great day.